Yo guys, Happy New Year everyone. 1.0 is coming up pretty soon, so I thought I will make another Bladedancer build that is not relying on Shadow Daggers, because I actually think that Shadow Daggers might get nerfed with the 1.0 patch. We don't know yet, but it's been strong for so many years. That's why I thought I will make one build that doesn't rely on it, and it's pretty much a classic Shadow Cascade Bladedancer. With insane AoE coverage, insane single target damage. There are already build guides out there. I actually watched Bina's, Perry's, and Aaron's guide. I think there were some points where I just wanted to add some information because the information they gave were not true, with some stab shot ability and some damage scaling on a passive that I will go over later. And also some, in general, damage was missing that you can abuse in the tree. Like I said, everything later in the mechanics, or also, as always, you can read my build guide that just needs to get improved from Dammit, so it's gonna be out pretty soon. Every mechanic is pretty much explained there. If I miss something, I will just add it, so you can always leave down a comment in the build guide or here in the video. Also the level progression, so if you're new to the game, you can pretty much like look up like every point that you have to set from the beginning to the end. Everything should be there, even at the end, because this build is quite heavy on mana sustain. I added this starting gear setup if you don't have like all the rare affixes yet, and I also added like a different leveling approach with Shadow Daggers and Umbral Blades self-cast, because here we only proc it, but in the beginning I would recommend to use it as a self-cast skill. Like I said, if you have more questions here, everything should be explained here, but otherwise I will answer this for you. And now I will show you first some gameplay, 300 corruption. Let's do just one echo real quick and then we do a boss. And then of course we go over all the mechanics, skills, gear, whatever. You know the drill. So we go here. First of all, what you have to do is basically Sync Strike to get all the shadows out, and then cast Shadow Cascade first. I will go over the points later to explain why this is important, because basically the shift rotation that I do now will snapshot the damage. So it's pretty much Sync Strike, Shadow Cascade, Sync Strike, shift, and then you begin the rotation again. It's pretty easy. It's only 3 buttons that you have to cast, and then you just like run through the echo like this. I mean, you can see the leech, the life recovery. Even if I get hit, life is up pretty fast again. I'm running with 2 katanas, so you also get a lot of glancing blow here. Pretty safe playstyle actually. Like the only time where I die is pretty much from one shots, I would say, and also the damage output here. It's really strong. I have decoy just as a panic button. I never used it. I just have it there because otherwise you don't need any other skill. The Shuriken comes out with shift, so you also don't need to manually cast it like this. And the Umbral Blades mechanic I will go over later. Yeah, really simple playstyle. 3 buttons, really cool to actually play, and also really fast to level up your corruption. So let's do the boss real quick. It's not like insane broken damage, but it's good damage, more than enough to pretty much deal with everything in the game. Let's do this shitty broken boss here. So yeah, Sync Strike, Shadow Cascade, Sync Strike, shift, always this rotation. So you don't really need to focus that much on cooldown recovery, because on bosses I will do this rotation in echoes. You can just do the Sync Strike shift to move on to be faster, like in the echoes. But if you want to have like more damage output, then you definitely need to do this rotation. And as you can see, I mean, good damage. Nothing broken there, so I'm pretty sure that this will not get nerfed. You can have a lot of fun with 1.0. Skip this one, and yeah. Pretty cool to play, a lot of fun. I think I leveled this character in, I think like 2 or 3 days, I don't know, after coming home from work. So really easy gearing. No uniques required. This is the only one that you want to play because it gives good more damage, but easy to farm in Monolith. So yeah, let's go over all the mechanics first. So pretty much what the build is about is the shadow creation with Synchronized Strike. As you can see here, it costs a lot of mana, but I will go over the mana sustain, what you do to pretty much have no mana problems anymore. And once you pretty much set up the shadows, you can press Shadow Cascade, and they will imitate your skill. And as you can see also with the big AoE, you can also shotgun single target enemies, so there's a lot of damage coming up. And as you can see here with Shift, we have a cooldown. I'm not using the, what is the name, Smoke Weavers, because it is not a Shadow Daggers build. I focused around this node here so that I get Glancing Blow when I'm wielding two swords. And that's why you want this rotation to keep the single target damage up. And you can pretty much like cast Shadow Cascade the whole time. I think I can get up to like 400 or 500k crits. Let's check it real quick. 300, 500, okay, yeah. So pretty good damage, and like all 5 Shadow Cascades can overlap, so you do a lot of damage on this one. Pretty good stuff. Other than that, Umbral Blades, I will go over the skills later, but only those 3 skills that you actually need. Let's start with Shadow Cascade first. When you level, already go down to these nodes over here. Mana is a big problem with this build early on, so you need to get all the mana sustain nodes in the skill tree on gear. I have around like 18 mana regeneration. Also, I would recommend to get at least 1 flat stat of mana. It would be probably better to get it here because here you want the damage. Like I said, everything is in the written guide as well. So first you go with the refund here. Here you get more mana per shadow up. That's why we use a Synchronized Strike with 4 additional shadows. Sorry. This one is the one that most people didn't understand in combination with the Shadow Master skill. So how this basically works is if you have a specific number of shadows out, 4 in total with Sync Strike, the Shadow Cascade is dealing 100% more damage. This can snapshot, by the way, with this node right here in Shift. So the first time you go into a map, you do the self-cast combo. After this, you can shift, and the 100% more multiplier is always up. Now, this one adds 1 additional maximum shadow. So people think when I do this and this, 5 shadows are out, which is true, but I tested it on the dummy. Once you shift, the actual explosion will snapshot before the 5th one come out, so we will still have the 100% more multiplier, and that's why you can take points into this, because 100% increased damage for the shadows is actually like a good damage output. So it works. I didn't see like any damage loss there. It was actually going up because of the 100% increased damage. So pretty good stuff there. This one also good damage multipliers. No attack speed scaling. This will come in a little bit more important when I go over this node here. And this one is good because swords, daggers is pretty much like the main arsenal for Bladedancer. And since we're going to katanas, we also get the damage multiplier here. After that, I went here for more damage per shadow. Then I went with this one. So you might think if we have this node, there's no attack speed scaling possible anymore. But if you still put points into here, Shadow Cascade still profits from the attack speed scaling and the more damage. That's why you actually want some attack speed on the gear, so you can get it from here. There are some passives like here, the 5-point bonus, Swift Assassin, and most importantly from Sync Strike, the 25 when you hit an enemy. And if you can see, 98, so you will get around like, I don't know, 55 to 60% more damage only because of those 3 points here. So take it, really good damage multiplier. This one, the crazy damage buffs. The rest of the points, I have 22. I put into area. It just make it easier to overlap so that you have more single target damage. And that's pretty much like the main skill for the build. I think the second most important one, of course, is Sync Strike. I would recommend to go mana efficiency first. Then you go here for the damage. This one pretty much gives you 2 more shadows, so a lot more damage output for Shadow Cascade. If you have mana problems in the beginning and you want to play this build, don't use the Dark Allies node. You can play this one with only 3 shadows out. To be a little bit more efficient, it's probably better to level Shadow Daggers, Umbral Blades, Self-Cast before, what I mentioned in the written build guide. But you can already level like the whole build and just like do a different Umbral Blades setup. Once you have enough mana sustain, it's really easy to swap over, and then you do like the build that I just showed you. So here, this one first, here, then you go for the attack speed. In combination with this one, also it feels smoother because Synchronized Strike scales with attack speed, so you can do it a lot faster. Only Shadow Cascade is the regular slow cast, but if you know how to position, you can also play it really safe. And I just like this one. This node is just so insane. I already did it in my Chakram build. When you have around like, I don't know, 1k health, you just press it and full life recovery. It's just absolutely insane. You don't really need this one because the fifth shred is coming from the Shurikens, and I don't really need like damage over time mitigation because I can just simply like get my life back with leech and with this recovery node here. I think it's way better. Shift also, of course, really important for this build. Get the cooldown, get the speed. Those two here pretty much allows it to proc the Shadow Cascade behind you. Then we go with the mana sustain. Put all the points into here. Mana sustain is really important. Get this node right here. And then we pretty much proc all the 5 Shurikens, so that you never have to use Shurikens and Umbral Blades for this build. Why we take Shurikens? Simply because of the blade shield and the armor duration here. So that's a good buff that we can get at the end. It's also, of course, really important to get the pierce chance, otherwise you will lose the armor duration pretty quick. And rest of the points go into here for the fifth shred. It's a pure physical build, so you can get these shreds out really fast here, 10 stacks maximum. That's a really good extra damage for this build. There's like the last point, it doesn't matter where you put it, I just put it here. You don't need to even set it. It's completely worthless. So 19 points in general is the whole build. It's pretty much the first build where I don't play Smoke Bomb. I didn't like it in the rotation. That's why I added Umbral Blades with a different setup, where you can actually gain mana with the recoil and with the recall. And how this one works, so I leveled I think over here first to get the haste chance when you do the recall. Then you go over here. This is the most important note, that your shadows drop the Umbral Blades. Most of you probably know this combination with the blades that spin on place, but here we do the normal Umbral Blades that stick on the ground. And when you press shift, they're basically getting recalled to get mana back, additional mana that we need with the high mana sustain. But you can also, because I just did it because there's no like slow chance, or you can get slow chance on the katana, but I just went over here that the blades actually seek out for enemies that can pierce, that can provide slow for them, and it still works and you get the mana back. So it was a really cool synergy here to get haste, slow, and the mana sustain, and that's why I didn't went for the smoke bomb. Yeah, pretty much the first build where I don't use it. That's pretty much for the skills. Passives, you go here first for the attack speed and flat damage. You go here, you rush the haste, because in the beginning to get increased damage for movement speed is really strong on Bladedancer or rogues in general. Then you get the last point for the dual wield, then you have 20. I switched over to Bladedancer, 5.0 for the movement speed, 8.0 for a lot of flat damage. Then I put the rest of the points here. Leech, this node is absolutely insane, probably one of the best passive nodes in the whole game. 5 points here to get just the attack speed bonus. This one I got a little bit later, so I first focus on damage. 1 point wonder for the free extra dodge on Silver Shrouds. 1 point here is enough. We will have like crit all the time, but 5 points here to get the high crit multi. And like I said before, this one is a strong 100% increased damage for your shadows. That works if you do like the correct rotation. Other than that, max this one for the glancing blow and the dust shrouds. This one, there you also have the attack speed. It feels way smoother when you scale it melee attack speed with Sync Strike. You can actually leave our points here and put them at the end here. I'm level 93, so my last points will go into this one for a lot more damage, and I'm almost pretty much on full health. Other than that, just put the points here for Glancing Blow. And what I just recommend, if you put the points here, if you rush it, because that's a big damage multiplier. After this one, max this one, because you get a lot of extra crit chance. Yeah, to crit basically more often. This one, defensive node, also with the increased dodge rate. Pretty much a setup. Like I said, I have the whole leveling progression in the written guide as well. Gear, super simple. You don't need any uniques, as I said. The only one is this one. I managed to get it with 2 LP, mana, regen, health. Really good stats on it. I will just go over it. I think it's really decent gear. Here I would like the one with the physical resistance. We get 2 katanas. It's better to get it with the crit percentage. I just got it here with increased crit chance, but it doesn't matter. I only see yellow numbers. But it's also good to have like the flat damage, because Shadow Cascade has 200% damage effectiveness, and for whatever reason it has 10% base crit, so it's really easy to reach the like high crit chance or just crits in general. This one is not that good for damage, but I needed the mana regen and the flat mana. This one I could get a little bit more health. This ring is good. This one is good. This one is good. As you can see, pretty decent gear. For idols, do whatever you want. Really, also put it down in the build guide. I just went for full resistance and health. You can get some damage idols like this, or something like this here. Mana efficiency, I saw some build guides where they use this mana efficiency with Sync Strike. As you can see, I don't need the mana efficiency. Mana is always up. I never have any mana problems with the setup. That's pretty much it. So mana comes from here, comes from here, comes from here. This one on Umbral Blades. Then I have 18 mana regeneration and 1 flat mana on the gear. That's pretty much the whole setup. Blessing, full defensive mode, void resistance, crit avoidance, lightning resistance, cold resistance. Here I would prefer the armor. You can go endurance for armor, but armor is way better because we mix it with the Shuriken setup here. Yeah, that's pretty much like the whole setup here. As I said, we can go up real quick here on the build guides. Check the build planner. So it's going to be increased damage for skills used by shadows, and the one per active shadow on Shadow Cascade. Go with this Gong and Scale Coif because it has the increased cooldown recovery speed. We just want a little bit of cooldown recovery speed, that the whole like build feels smoother. This is the body armor that I actually wanted to have because we get physical resistance, get the plus level to Shadow Cascade, health everywhere, and just like shadow damage where you can basically get it. Health, fist pen, increased damage. We don't really need the crit multi because we have a lot, and the rest is like dodge rating. The cool thing about katanas is that you can have like the dodge rating on the swords, so get it on both. On one we get the chill, on the other one we get the frailty. Other than that, flat crit and melee fist damage. Classic health setup here with fizz and mana regen. Try to seal the cleanse in the beginning. Just use it as a T1, and the rest is gonna be T5 health, as much as you can do. It's normally like belts are really easy to get. I just fucked up mine a little bit with the health. I could get more. This one you don't need the legendaries first. You can get like a regular one. It also helps out a lot in the beginning. Cooldown recovery speed on the opal ring. You can also go with silver ring if you want to be a little bit more fast. But this one I think has really good stats, and it's perfect for this build. Bladed gauntlets with melee attack speed. Here I would recommend to get the flat mana, health, endurance, movement speed, vitality, health. Also get here the cooldown recovery speed. And I would recommend to go ancient coins over the one with the poison resistance, because here you can get a lot of increased critical strike chance to basically reach high crit numbers. First damage, crit multi, endurance, health. Pretty defensive setup. This is just like a recommendation. I mean, you don't have to do exactly this setup. I just like provided some idols that you can use. You can go full defensive, you can go full offensive that I showed you before. It's just like some tips that I have for you here. I think that's pretty much it. We can go over the stats here real quick. Crit multi is good. Defense, we have over 60% endurance. Glancing blow you can get up when you have a little bit of dust shroud. So if you Looked at the gameplay again. I think I had like 4, 5, 6 dodge shrouds, like an average. So you will have the 100% glancing blow. The crit avoidance is there. So yeah, dodge is there for the katanas, armor for shuriken. So it's a pretty defensive setup also, and yeah, really a fun build at the end that I can highly recommend for leveling, for league starting, and endgame. Yeah, if you have any questions, again, always leave down a comment in the video or in the written build guide. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, guys.